The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
Jordan, I learned the most important lesson, which is probably the most dangerous lesson of all, too. The male ego is the most sensitive and most dangerous thing the world has to offer.
Yes.
So I was very...
Just say that again one more time. Say that one more time.
The male ego is the most sensitive and dangerous thing in the world.
Hello everyone, it's Queen B line back to you with another video. This video pertains to the Brianna Destiny McKoy story, as there has been an update within this case. Before I begin, I would like to extend my continued support and condolences to the family as you are continuing to grieve the loss of your child, sibling, and mother at this time. According to reports, Derek Francis of New York was convicted of the homicide of Brianna Destiny McKoy. During the unfortunate incident, this was seen by their son, who was 18 months old at the time. On June 5th, 2025, Derek Francis, 43, was sentenced to 55 years in prison for the homicide of Brianna Destiny McKoy, who was 23, in Bridgeport, Connecticut on April 6, 2023, online court records show. On April 25th, 2025, a three-judge panel of the Connecticut Superior Court convicted Derek Francis of the homicide of Brianna Destiny McKoy in the apartment they shared in the city's North End, said Joseph Cordero, the state's attorney for the Judicial District of Bridgeport. In coming to their verdict, the judges found that Derek Francis had failed to prove his affirmative defense of extreme emotional disturbance, the state's attorney stated in the release. Brianna Destiny McKoy was also the daughter of Jamaican reggae superstar Ricky Trooper, who has written about his daughter's homicide on social media. He stated in part, "Hate the 6th of April," he wrote on April 5th. "That day, the fussy took my baby away from us. 2 years now, and the pain only got worse." The McKoy's family has been seeking justice for her since the fatal unaliving. Today, we finally got that justice, and it's been a long time coming, her mother, Camille Hemmings, told News 12. On the day Brianna Destiny McKoy was unalived, she and Derek Francis were arguing at their apartment when he touched her 4 times with a weapon, officers told News 12. During the closing arguments, the defense stated that Derek Francis had reached a breaking point during his relationship with Brianna Destiny McKoy and called the homicide a crime of passion, the CT Post reports. The prosecution argued that Francis had stated in one of his police interviews that he had to wrest the weapon away from Brianna Destiny McKoy. Later on, Francis stated he found the weapon in a drawer while looking for money. He thought Brianna Destiny McKoy had allegedly taken, the prosecution argued. Their son Xander was only a few feet away when Derek Francis fired the weapon at Brianna McKoy, officers stated. Baby Xander has not spoken a single word since that day, Hemmings told News 12. He goes to therapy on a regular basis now to restore his speech. After the homicide, Francis fled the scene, setting off a national manhunt, according to the state's attorney. Derek Francis fled to Ohio but was apprehended 2 days later when officers stopped a car he was riding in because they had an arrest warrant for the driver, the state's attorney stated. Francis ran from the officers during the traffic stop but was captured after a short chase. Ohio officers recovered a weapon under the car's passenger seat that the Connecticut Forensic Science Laboratory determined was consistent with having fired the cartridge cases recovered from the crime scene, according to the state's attorney. Hemmings told News 12 nothing can take away the pain of losing her daughter, but she is glad that her killer will serve out the next 5 decades behind bars. She stated in part, he finally got what he deserved, 55 years. He will hopefully die in prison, a lonely, miserable death, Hemmings told News 12. Now you will watch this brief news clip and I will be back with my commentary.
Unbelievable. The mother of Bridgeport murder victim Brianna McKoy meeting us back at the condo where her daughter was shot to death in April of 23 by this man, 43-year-old Derek Francis, sentenced this week to 55 years behind bars. The shooting occurring while the pair's then 18-month-old son, Xander, looked on. He's nonverbal at this point. His grandmother saying the child has not spoken one single word since witnessing his mother's murder. He's going through all the therapy right now. The family in the courtroom this week for what they call their moment of truth, when Francis would ultimately learn his fate. The entire time he was in court, even when the baby was in there and the baby made noise, he didn't once look over to see like, oh, the baby's over there. He just held his head down the whole time. He smirked. He laughed at times. Brianna, the daughter of Jamaican reggae figure Ricky Trooper, one of hundreds on hand for her funeral, where her mom revealed that her daughter wanted a handgun to keep herself safe. Now I realize that that's what it was for protection. After fatally shooting Brianna 4 times with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun, Francis fled, triggering a national manhunt. He was eventually arrested in Ohio. Getting my life back on track. This family's journey through the criminal justice system over, while that of Brianna's killer has only just begun. He finally got what he deserved. 55 years, he will die, hopefully, die in prison. A lonely and miserable death.
I cannot begin to imagine what the McKoy Hemmings family is experiencing at this time. To losing a child, a sibling, and mother. I cannot even imagine what Brianna Destiny McKoy's child, Zadir, witnessed as his father, Derek Francis, took it upon himself to being the judge, jury, and ultimately executioner of his mother. I cannot and will not understand the psyche of these monsters. Yes, I said it, monsters. The fact that this baby is going to speech therapy, trying to regain how to speak. I give props to the McKoy Hemmings family for doing their due diligence in order for Zadir to having a fighting chance of speaking up. I've said this before and I will say it again. There are persons out here who will court you, date you, and yes, even have children with you and secretly envy you. Derek Francis had no business, and I repeat, no business being around Brianna Destiny McKoy, and here's why. Yes, Brianna Destiny McKoy was over 18 years old, but this is an old man. What does a 43-year-old, a 43-year-old who was at the time 41, what does a 41-year-old have in common with a 23-year-old? Make that make sense. Brianna Destiny McKoy extends this monster's legacy, and as a thank you, you took it upon yourself to taking her out without hesitation. I truly believe he wanted to teach Brianna Destiny McKoy a lesson, because in his mind, she was walking away from him for good. And these monsters do not need grace. They are constantly using these mind games to entrapping people's children and harming their own kin in the process. We must have these difficult conversations before it's too late. My hope is the family continues to take baby Zadir to speech therapy and other forms of therapy as he gets older, because this baby is going to have to navigate his feelings, knowing that his father unfortunately unalived his mother. Taking away his number one support system is selfish on so many levels. And I hope that the family of Brianna Destiny McKoy also seeks assistance in their grieving process moving forward. According to the Black Burn Center organization, an estimated 40% of Black women will experience DV in their lifetime. And unfortunately, 56% of these homicides were committed by a current or former partner. The majority of the homicides of pregnant women in the U.S. are at the hands of an intimate partner with a weapon. Black women are 3 times likely to be unalived by their partners around the time of their pregnancy compared to white or Hispanic women. According to the Mass General Brigham, of the 21 million assault-related injury visits, an estimated 15% occurs during the holiday season, and an 85% during non-holidays. New Year's Eve was the highest for intimate partner violence and altercations, followed by St. Patrick's Day, Independence Day, and Labor Day. Victims may be more vulnerable to violence due to prolonged or increased contact with family and friends, alcohol consumption, financial stress, or unique challenges during the holiday period. According to The Guardian, in 2020, homicides increased nearly 30% nationwide that year. The rate for Black women and girls rose 33%, a sharper increase than for every demographic except for Black men, and more than doubled that of white women. The unfortunate unalivings of Black women and Black girls increased across age groups from school-age children to senior citizens. According to another study conducted by Lancet, found the homicide rate among Black women between the ages of 25 and 44 years old increased by 73% between 2014 and 2020. And according to the DV Hotline organization, on average, it takes a victim at least 7 times to leave before staying away for good and exiting the relationship is most unsafe for a victim. I'm going to repeat this one more time. According to the DV Hotline organization, it takes a victim 7 times to leave before staying away for good, and exiting the relationship is the most unsafe time for a victim. And this is why we must listen to victims of DV and not dismissing or disregarding their allegations as it pertains to abuse. We must be mindful that our words do have an effect on others, and we must support them during this difficult time. Again, how many more persons are we willing to lose before we say enough is enough? When are we going to ring the alarm when these allegations come to pass? Are we going to continue the norm of doing nothing? When are we going to listen to Black women? When are we going to believe Black women? When are we going to protecting Black women? It should not only be a slogan, it should be something that we are actively doing in private as well as in the public. I will leave in the comments and description below for organizations and hotlines as it pertains to DV. Silence is no longer an option. Say their names, known and unknown. Protect Black mothers. Protect Black women. Say her name, Brianna Destiny McKoy. Continue to rest in peace, Brianna Destiny McKoy. And as always, please be safe out here. And I will see you in the next video.